How are
Cool.
you?
How's everything by you?
Good, good. Hot, man. We're just having a heat wave,
Wow. Cool, cool,
but staying cool.
cool.
How about yourself? You doing well? Family doing good?
So, are you in Jersey or are you in
I'm in
um
LA.
cool. Okay, I thought you were coming
Yeah,
back for a little while. You
I
know?
am. I'm coming back gosh, in about 2.5 weeks, I guess. My 40-year high school reunion is
Wow.
happening, and I help put that together because they tend to get together when I come to town, which is kind of fun. And we got a good group, and we got a fun night planned. It's gonna be neat. But
I mean, I was on Metal Archives today, and we can never go through all the bands you were part of or did work with, you know. But
yeah.
let's get to Journey USA. Tell me a little bit about that project.
Oh man, it's a funny thing. The singer had done some session work with Steve Perry
Right,
back in the day, vocal work. Tony Cardenas Montana on guitar, who was like, one of the integral members of Great White, back in the day. Mark Kelly played drums with Great White for a while. And the bass player, this guy Jeff Bretz, I'm a longtime friend with, and they need a keyboard player and they wanted a guy. And I was working on that cruise ship with the Legends of Classic Rock.
right.
I had a year contract with them last year with Terry Luce from Great White, Chuck Wright from Quiet Riot, Greg D'Angelo, White Lion, and Jay Boyliston, who worked with Paul Rogers, Bad Company. And I gave my notice. I gave my notice a little more than a year ago, that I gave a 4 month notice
Right.
that I was just wrapping up my time there. And a few weeks later, I got a call from this band, and they wanted a keyboard player. I said, "Look, I got to serve out this contract." They said, "Well, we want you right now. If you could come." And I'm like, "No, I gotta serve this out." And as soon as I was done, I let them know they're a nationally touring Journey tribute, Journey USA, and they're just great guys. They're really great guys, and they're easy to work with, and they're very professional. Probably one of the most professional outfits I've ever worked with.
Right.
And I've worked with some real pro situations, so that truly is saying a lot. And I just love them. We love getting together and no drama, you know,
Right.
which is a huge change from what I'm used to. And it's playing the greatest hits of Journey, which I love. I just love that music. I know it back and forth, and it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, we did 31 shows in 35 weeks. This summer we had 6 sold out venues, all like mostly theaters. And people are great. It's a really great gig and I'm really loving it. So I don't want to over talk it. I tend to talk too much, but I'm really excited about it.
Do you feel like tribute bands or whatever you want to call them are the way to go these days? Because it's all over, not just LA, it's New Jersey too.
Oh, they started getting bigger in New Jersey before they got big in LA. I remember when I was going back there to work with American Angel and everybody was in a tribute band. I'm like, what is going on? What's the deal? But I don't know. I mean, I love Journey music. That kind of tribute I could do. I wouldn't really go out and do other tributes.
Right.
I already learned the catalog because of I can't get into that too much, but I needed to learn, let's just say I needed to learn the Journey catalog at one point. So for an audition. So I worked my ass off on it. And when I was done, it's like I've got the sounds, I got the skills. Why
Right.
not, put it to use and make some money on it? But I wouldn't join like a I don't know, a Talking Heads tribute or it was mainly for fun,
Right. Yeah.
and to get out of the house. I mean, I'm with my high school sweetheart now. We've been engaged for a while, and every weekend we get to drive to a new town.
Right.
We stay in a beautiful hotel. We'll go by the beach. We'll go by the lake. So it's not just for me getting on stage and playing the same tunes, but it's a whole lifestyle that I'm getting to relax and make money, and my girl loves it. And but I don't know. I know a lot of folks have to do it, and it's become more of a thing.
Right.
Original music It's really hard to get out there. So many original acts right now competing to play. Oh,
Well, I know in Jersey you were in American, Amazing Grace and stuff like that,
yeah.
and American Angel. So like you did stuff with that. They just had a reunion with my writer Dave Felix and Lisa. I mean, I missed it.
I saw.
I wish I could have went.
I saw.
Yeah, you know,
No, I wanted to go too. I mean, we've had this Facebook chat going on for a few months about trying to get together, and I saw a couple pictures. I mean, Kevin wanted to go, Chris wanted to go, but Chris is still on the East Coast, but he's constantly touring with tribute acts. And
right.
I was touring all summer, and it's hard for me to fly back 3,000 miles for a barbecue. It's hard to do that. Even this class reunion, I had to pick a time when we weren't going to be on the road. And I'm only coming in for 3 days and I'm out. But I miss those guys. I miss Amazing Grace. I miss Lisa and Chris and even Jimmy. Son of a bitch. I mean, I miss them all. And Dave. So did he have a good time? So Dave went. I didn't see any pictures or anything.
Pictures up there on Dave's
So
site, and
how come you weren't there?
everybody's getting sick here. One day, like 90 degrees, the next day, 40 something. So like the weather's changing, everybody's getting sick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I did get a
Yeah.
chance to go to a couple shows lately and stuff like that with my other writer, Mark Ballo, and stuff like that. We went
Yeah.
to see a guy named Anthony Gomes. He's like
Okay.
amazing. It's only a three-piece band.
Huh.
You got to check him out. He's really good. He's like,
Wow.
yeah, I like him a lot. But let's get back to your stuff. Like, I'm good friends with the guys in London, which you played with and stuff like that. And matter of fact, I go, is Eric still in the band? And he goes, no, not at this time, and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about the move from Jersey to LA. How much of an impact did it make for you?
Well, gosh, I moved out here in 91 and I had visited here for a couple of summers and just had a blast. And one of my last visits, I think like in 89, a friend of mine brought me to the Sunset Strip and it was amazing. And the street was closed off and there were lots of beautiful people and spandex and big hair and makeup. And that's just the guys, you
Yeah.
know? And it was, it was like this amazing scene. And it's like, I got to move to LA. So it took me a year or so. I packed up my stuff and I came out in the fall of 91 and I was about 6 months too late,
Right, yeah.
and I got on Sunset Boulevard in my best leather jacket, my snakeskin boots, and I walked down the strip and it's deserted. It's crickets. There's no traffic. There's nobody there. And on a Friday night, I'm like, what happened? And I missed the window. I mean, we all thought, just like in Jersey, we thought that era was going to last forever. And so now I had to do some work. Now I had to really work for it. And I met a lot of these 80s artists who were, I don't want to say down on their luck because that implies there was some financial aspect to it, but it was just like there was a whole economy
Right,
built around hair metal, around 80s LA rock. Not just the artists, but the clubs and the people who sold like the clothes and the
right,
makeup and the hairspray and the jewelry and the people who printed the flyers and the posters. And all these people now had no work.
right,
There were like 4 or 5 rock newspapers and like 3 big rock radio stations. And everyone was like disheartened. It was like this big community. It's like now we got to find a job. Now we got to be adults, and it sucked.
right.
And but there was a vacuum, and I got to work with some folks. I did some work with Richard Black from Shark Island. Who was like, everyone's gone. Some early stuff with Tony McAlpine. A couple of great guys who just weren't doing anything now. And I'm like so happy to be here. I was 23, 24, and just so happy to work with my idols, and Jeff Scott Soto, I got to do some records with him. He was doing the Boogie Nights, but he was still doing some of these 80s rock records. So there's some folks I was very fortunate to make friends with and still be friends. And like 5 years later, around 96, I guess, that the internet actually more like 94, the internet became a big thing when they were mailing out
Yeah.
those AOL CDs. And I'm like, I was one of the first, keyboard player guys to set up a website with pictures and music you could download. And I'm like, hey, if you need a keyboard player and you can't find one in your town, I'll do the work, which is how I got to meet like Ted Poley and do his work, and Steve Grimmett in England. And they just kept coming, now there was the internet. And I just, keyboardplayer.net is one of many websites I have, and I've just maintained it. I'm really easy to find. Hashtag rock keyboards. And I just really wanted to work with these guys. I love these guys, like just like you. I'm a big fan of what they've done, and I want to give back. I wanted to give back. I wanted them to have that sound that I know that they're looking for, and I stepped up, you know,
Oh,
and so that's how I got running out here in LA,
let me
built
mention
this thing.
a couple people that you worked with. Tony Mills, tell me about him.
Tony was great. Andrew McNiece put us together. I was working on my China Blue album. It was like my only real solo record, I guess. And I needed a singer. I was working with a guitarist that unfortunately had to leave the project. And Andrew put us together with Tony. And I knew I never heard what he did.
Right.
I didn't really know a lot of these European folks at the time. And someone sent me some Shy tracks that he did with Shy. It was amazing. It was just skydiving, like a lot of these things he did. His voice was prolific. And he did my record, and I did about five of his records. Like every solo record he put out right to the end. I wrote songs with him. I stayed at his house, in Birmingham when I was out there. And we just great friends, great sense of humor. He loves that show Black Adder. He used to make me sit and watch it. He'd binge watch it in his living room, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm going back to bed. It's 2 p.m. It's bedtime somewhere. I'm going to sleep. And uh, really sweet guy, and I miss him so much. And I know he had his challenges, and I don't know. And then he got the gig with TNT as we were working on the record. So my record took longer because he had that whole TNT adventure, which he went in and out with. Him and Tony Harnell, the two Tonys,
Yeah.
were in and out for the rest of that time. And Harnell is still a great friend. I'm hoping to have him come to his show next month. He's such a sweetheart. We did a gig in the Village about 10 years ago, acoustic, with an acoustic piano, with the Virus, with Andre Carcos, and had a great, who used to date Lisa St. Anne from Amazing Grace. See, it all comes together. That whole East Coast Mafia thing, it's a very tight community, and my heart is very much with those folks. And I wish there was more original music going on back there with these people, because I'd love to work with them. Love what they've done.
Tell me,
I went. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
good morning.
I'm sorry. I lost the first part. Say again.
Can you tell me anything about Michael Bormann?
Yeah. He's another one I met online. I've never met in person. Um, when he first left Jaded Heart, he wanted to come back with a strong solo record, and I hooked up with him. I did the intro, I did a couple of songs, and I've worked on every solo record he's done. He was on The Voice in Germany. This great viral clip of him singing. I mean, he's amazing. I just did tracks for his wife, Katie, and I think the second single comes out today. And he produced that, worked on that, and it was supposed to work on a new Bormann CD in the next year. But I'm waiting to hear. I mean, right now the push is for Katie's record, and they're sweet. They're just really great. Never met him in person, but would love to meet him. Great guy.
Tell me a little bit about your time with American Angel.
Oh man, it's so funny. I pursued them so hard. I literally flew back. I flew back east for one of those shows they used to do over the Thanksgiving weekend with XENON. They used to do those shows every year.
Uh-huh.
And I flew back there. I sought out Rocco. I went backstage and I said, look, I'm Eric. I'm a keyboard player and I've done some things and I'd love to work with you. And he's like, you know what? We're working on a record. You're exactly what we're looking for. And it took a year or so. And I did a lot of keyboards for the record. And we did a couple of shows, every couple of years we do a show. But Rocco's got, what people would say is like a unique work ethic.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't really grasp it, but I flew back there again about 3 years ago, and he was working on a job site with his day job.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
went to the city and I went to the job site. It was this demolished construction. Again, I sought out Rocco. I'm like, look, come on, it's time, it's time. And he's just got his own process. He works with different people. He works at a different pace. So I'd love to do more American Angel. I love Rocco's voice and I love his perspective of the world and what's going on. And I miss hearing that, musically. And but when he's ready, I'm ready.
Well,
But
he does post some stuff on Facebook of new material he's doing, and also XENON's got a new album coming out.
oh, I want to hear that. I'm a huge come on, man. SOU back in the day. I love Xenon. I had Ronnie play rhythm guitar on my China Blue album because I just wanted a piece of Xenon on that record, that crunch, that
Uh-huh.
Xenon crunch. But
Yeah.
man, I can't wait. I'd love to work on that record. I want to hear that record, And Joey, again, another one. Like it's a unique voice, and he's got a unique world perspective, and
Right.
I'd love to hear. And I thought Joey was retired. I didn't think he was coming
Yeah.
back. And
They got
and nobody sounds like these guys. You got all these sound alike 80s guys, but nobody sounds like Joey Famingo. Nobody sounds like Rocco Fury. And so I'm excited as a fan.
What about Amazing Grace? Do you, when you were with them, do you think anything left over will ever see the day of light?
No, that's so done. It's a shame because like listen, Lisa's an angel. Lisa's a blessing. She really is. She's got a gift. And I don't even know if she real. And I tried to tell her once when she was touring out here and visiting here. I'm like, like there's a small group of folks that really touch hearts, and you're one of them.
Right.
And you should know that. You should know that. And it's not just the looks or the writing, but there's a piece of her soul that just touches people. And she did two great solo records, Curiously Strong and Conversations. God, at the sidewalk cafe. It was Saved by the Side. I can't remember, but they were great. I don't know if you have them. They're great records.
Right.
They were '90s records. They weren't like '80s glam, but they were mature singer-songwriter records. And she toured hard behind those, and took it as far as she could. And then she, settled down and became a mom, or at least from what I know, we haven't had a conversation in a long time, which is why I'm so bummed I missed that barbecue because that would have been, just to catch up,
Me
just to
too.
hear where everybody is. But
Yeah.
but but it's a shame because everybody's still playing. Everybody's still, Chris is still playing. Kevin is still playing. Jamie, the guitarist, he wrote a whole album for Rocco for American Angel. He wrote demos for what I thought was going to be the next record that just never saw the light of day. So everybody's still working. But I don't know. I wish there's a lot of great material out there. There's a lot of demos. I've got all the demos, things people haven't heard
Right.
that
Yeah.
that they just, if they were recorded properly, it's all on cassette, but and there's no money in it,
Sure.
you know. You'd be going for streams.
Do you ever think of George DeGullis at all from ZHAN?
From ZHAN,
Yeah.
yeah. God, he and his wife passed away like really close, like at the same time. And ZHAN was like a huge local band, and I still talk to Danny LaVecchia all the time. The drummer. we were just Facebooking this morning, actually. Um, God, so many great guys who, I was just talking to someone about the other day, so many talented people who really should have gotten more success, who should have gotten more what they deserved. And for one
Mhm.
reason or another, it just didn't pan out. But George was another gifted artist that, it's a bummer and funny as hell too. But,
I used to hang out with him a lot on Kennedy Boulevard where he lived and stuff like that. He was always
really,
hanging out the window, and his brother was cooking, and it was a great time. It's totally different now. It's like you're older, you got obligations, you got family, wives. So a lot of things it'll never happen again, naturally. But you move on. You know. So what's a
yeah,
typical?
it's tough. I mean,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's just what's a
Well,
typical? Go ahead. Go ahead.
this generation just doesn't see the magic of getting together with a group of guys and making music. And this generation doesn't really leave their house, or their bedroom. They're just on their phones playing games. And there's a magic of getting together with other like-minded people and learning songs and getting together and printing the flyers and getting ready for the shows. And
Don.
it sounds like, oh, let's all go down to the creek and go fishing.
Yeah,
It sounds like one of those old-timey Cracker Barrel things. Let's get in the garage and get our guitars. And it's a shame. It's a lost thing that old timers like us are going to talk about, and young people are going to, yeah, yeah, hippie,
yeah.
whatever. It's a bummer.
Do you miss Melodic Rock Fest?
Yeah, I do. I do. I just posted a memory, a picture yesterday with from the first one with Eric Martin and the Nelsons and Jack Blades and Kelly. And Facebook told me it was 9 years ago. So I wrote 9 years ago. And then somebody wrote, no, it was 11 years ago. So I changed it. And somebody said, no, it was 2007. It was like, God, it was 18 years ago? Really? 18 years ago. But I miss those, but I feel bad for Andrew because those things were not making money.
Right.
And every time I worried how he was gonna explain it to his wife when he got back to Australia. It had to be a tough one, but it was magical. The friendships and that was one of my first exposures to concert tourism where people all go like Monsters of Rock cruise. They do it every year. A bunch of people just gather together on a boat, don't know each other. They come back as lifelong friends. It's the music. Music brings people together, and everything's so divided right now. Everyone's so in their different ideologies or different things, and I don't know what's going to happen with the world next. But music, what's the first concert you saw, and
Right. Yeah.
who's your favorite your album? I mean, these things that bring us together. So I'm so glad there's things like there was Melodic Rock Fest and Fire Fest and Monsters of Rock Cruise, which still goes on. And I tried to explain when I was married, I tried to explain to my wife. She wanted no part of it. She did not want to meet any people. She did not want to, think how many times we've gotten together at different cities doing
Yeah.
shows. You've
Yeah.
never met her because she didn't understand it. And my girl now, she comes to every show. She wants to be there. She wants to see it because it's magical. It really is.
Talking about that, me and my this morning. You never seen your wife at any of the shows that I saw you at and stuff like that. Never.
No, no, she never. I mean, we had, two boys. She had two boys when we got married, but lots of people get babysitters. I could have left it with my
Right.
parents or things for the weekend. I mean, I think that the fourth time I played Firefest, the fourth time, I said, look, I'm going to England for the week,
Right.
going to London. I'm gonna go why don't you come and bring the kids, let them see what it is I do. Because they never saw me in a big stage in a big venue like that.
Right.
And she's like, you know what? You go to Nottingham, play your show, and I'll go to London and shop for a couple of days, and we'll meet in London. Like there's so many things wrong with that sentence. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's a different, we were into different things, but some people are really, it's important to be with somebody who gets your
Right, yeah,
your aspiration, what you do. They have to be part of your tribe, or at least be tolerant of your tribe. You know what I mean? And if they're not, then it's going to be a problem. And I don't know, I feel bad, but like I said, my girl Kara right now, I mean, we grew up together. Sometime, like the first couple of shows I took her to, she was a little weirded out. We went to Vegas to a Journey orchestral show, and I ran into 10 old friends
right, yeah,
from Texas, from Northern California. We were in Vegas,
right,
from
yeah,
all these different places. And she's like, who are these people? Do you really know them? Have you met? I'm like, This is family. This is part of our collective." And it took a while to explain, what it was and how it works. And it's a special group. I mean, I'm not into sports.
right.
I don't watch like I see you wearing like a football jersey or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I don't really. That was one of my issues with Rocco, with American Angel. He's always watching football. He's always live tweeting or whatever. And I'm like, I'm working on music. Like I don't get together at a bar with a bunch of Lakers fans.
uh-huh.
I get together with a bunch of music fans, like the Rainbows having their annual barbecue, their backyard barbecue this
Right, yeah,
weekend. I played it 4 times. It's a great event. Trickster's playing, Winger's playing, uh, Killer Dwarfs, all these great groups. I'm going. All my people are there. You know, and it's like that's where I go. So if you want to be part of it, glad to have you. If not, I don't know what to do. But it's important.
Are you working on any new material now for anybody?
Oh my God. I am constantly working on new material. When I was on that cruise ship last year, I worked on so many records, and Terry was pissed at me because he wanted me to work on some solo singles that he still hasn't released that aren't gonna come out. But but I worked on a slew of stuff that came out, including the Hearts of Fire CD, which we're going to talk about at some point, which is a great record. But hey, Katie Borman's. But let's see. Right now, I'm wrapping up work on the new Femme Fatale record with
Cool.
Lorraine Lewis, and Steve Brown's at the helm of that, like he was with the Ace Frehley record that I worked on with him, and it just sounds huge. We worked on a huge ballad this week. And as soon as I got off the road with Journey USA, I had to jump right back in and finish this huge string arrangement. You know, excuse me. Lorraine's going to be there this weekend. They're shooting a video this weekend in LA, and this is great. But it's probably all I could talk about right now. But yeah, I'm constantly. It's busy, man.
Right.
It's as busy as it's ever been, and I'm glad to be busy.
So tell me
You
about
know.
the Hearts on Fire CD that just came out.
I did the first one a couple of years ago. Andrew McNiece put me together. The first one I think was on Melodic Rock Records,
Right.
and they needed keyboards. And Dennis Ward was producing, and I've done about a dozen records with Dennis Ward, mostly for Frontier Records. And I had done like another Chimera record with Dennis, and I'm really getting known for that sound, that this lush keyboards. So I did the Hearts on Fire. The singer went on to do his own solo album, solo project. Well, not solo, but it's a band project called Ryan. And Ryan brought me in to do his record after he left Hearts on Fire. So now Hearts on Fire had a vacancy, and they brought in Mark Bowles, who's sung with Yngwie. He's just legendary. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do the record. Heck yeah. So they let me really go wild on the keyboards, and there's a lot of keys, a lot of fun. And ZHAN brought me in, the guitarist, and he writes everything, and he sounds great. It's consistent, it's melodic, it's guitar heavy, and it's just a lot of fun. We're supposed to shoot a video for the next single, Lights and Shadows, and I don't know. We're supposed to do that the next month, remotely, of course. But it's a great record. They're great guys, and he's trying to do everything very professionally. Very smart. It's on Pride and Joy Music,
I like that.
and they just celebrated their 10th anniversary. And have you gotten to hear the record much?
I I get Pride and Joy sends me everything. You
Oh,
know,
great.
over
Wow.
they're really good over there, you know. So what's a typical day for you? Do you play keyboards every day?
Well, I've been, I, I've been practicing is this Journey USA set every day. Important to get it right. So, looks like my internet's a little shaky. Can you still see me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, gosh, I don't know. I get up, I do some work around the house, check my mail, but I definitely practice these songs every day. I gotta be good. I gotta be really good. It's at the point where we're playing these shows everywhere, these theaters, and I never felt like it was so important to be so good and to get better. Like I'm a grown up now. I can't phone it in anymore. This is a really important gig to me, and I got to really bring my best. And people are watching. YouTube, these clips, they last forever.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
people are filming every night. It's not like I could schlep it somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and so I work on that every day. I'm working on a new keyboard solo right now. I'm working on something I've never seen anybody do that I'm trying to do. I haven't talked to the guys about it yet. I don't know what they're gonna think, but I've got this great keyboard solo spot, which is pretty. It's a one place I really get to shine. But I'll have to show it to you once I get it on YouTube. But it's I don't want to over. I've been working on it all week, so I'm very excited about it. But I can't really. I don't want to talk about what it is, but it's kind of cool. And but yeah, life is good. And then I'm working on. Let's see, what am I doing today? I'm talking to you. I got to work on this new track for J.K. Northrup. He sent me down for a singer named Rich Collenberg. We work on that with Larry Hart. He played bass with Montrose and uh, what's his name? Wild Mick Brown's brother, Steve Brown, who plays drums with Tesla. He's in this group, but we've done these things with Rich Collenberg. So I got to work on that today. I got to work on my solos some more today. It's really hot. We have ants in the kitchen, so I have to get the ants out of the
Yeah.
kitchen. I've got a routine of things I got to do. Just stuff like that. It's boring, really, at the end of the day. But I don't know. It's fun. Life is good, Brian. Life
Good.
is better than it's been in a long time.
Well, Eric, it was great talking to you, and I appreciate the chat. And congratulations
Yeah.
on all your endeavors. Man.
Thank you, man.
Cool, cool. Would you like to
Well,
say fans out there?
just freaking follow me. Follow me on the socials. Hashtag rock keyboards, rockkeyboards.com, keyboardplayer.net. I'm the easiest guy to find. If you want some keyboards on your tracks, reach out to me. I'm always looking to work with new people and to bring that sound back to where it is. And I hope to see you at a show sometime soon.
Cool,
You
cool.
know,
Thanks, Eric. I enjoyed the chat.
me
Much
too.
more.
Keep my best to your family, Brian.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.